Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Metzler, one of the programmers here at SF DocFest. We've been bringing some of the most interesting and cool and irreverent documentaries from around the world to the Bay Area for the last 23 years. I still can't believe we're still doing this, but people keep on making great films, and we're excited to share them with you here in San Francisco. You just got a chance to see the really great film Art and Life, and we have director John Makins here. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So can you give us a little bit of what was the kind of origin story for this film in the sense that how did you know you wanted to kind of go down the rabbit hole and tell this story about Jim's life and art?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up as an 80s child and just surrounded by skateboarding and Jim's art was everywhere at those times. That was kind of his heyday and just being a little kid, I was just in awe of skateboarding and that art. And it was, like my first skateboard was a Jim Phillips board. He was in every magazine and so just a figure I looked up to my whole life. And in my older years, I ended up I ended up going to art school and all that. And I started this company and I reached out to Jim for a logo. Um, and he was down to do it. And I was just completely blown away that Jim Phillips did my logo for this company. And that's kind of how we met and got to know each other. Um, and then I was also working in the film industry. Um, so we started doing these little like interview webisodes, and he just had these like amazing stories and this whole side of his life that like no one really knew about. Like people just seen his art everywhere, but no one like knew who Jim Phillips was. So I thought really felt compelled to kind of share his inspiration and his story. And so I asked him to do a documentary, and at first he was kind of like, why would anyone want to see a documentary about me? Like that's a stupid idea. And but kind of, you know, um talked him into it, or he just, saw the bigger picture, and then that's kind of how it all started.
That's cool. Well, yeah, it's so ironic that he wouldn't think that somebody would be interested in a film about him. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
i- is that just kind of reflective of his personality? And like, as you started filming, you know, um, were there times where he just was like, I just don't want to film, or was he pretty open access wise over the course of the filming?
Yeah, I mean, he's just really humble. And so I think that was kind of that. But he was amazing to film and interview. And he was pretty open access about most everything. There was a couple touchy subjects, as in everything that it you got to kind of develop those relationships with those people to get them to
Yeah.
open up a bit. But yeah, no, overall, like it was he was really great.
Well, and being familiar, like, as you started to kind of dig in, were there any like particular kind of biggest surprises that you learned over the course of it, or any particular challenges?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of when we started this film in 2011, so it was a 12-year project. And when we first started, we kind of had an idea of like what the story was going to be and the outline. And then as we started interviewing people, this whole other story kind of came out. um and that, since you guys watched the film, that was just kind of the falling out with NHS, and the struggles, and that whole conflict. So that was something that we kind of had to kind of pry into a little more with the interviews, and kind of go back to some other people about those topics. Um, so yeah, that was really interesting, because it was something that wasn't really like common knowledge, and so we had to dig into that a bit more. The other thing was his cancer diagnosis um was pretty much like when we started the film, and lasted, through the entire making of the film. So we were right there with them through that whole journey, and so that was a whole nother story, and thing that
Do
he
you,
was going through.
do you think that with the different health struggles, like did you see a change, and did that make him more introspective or reflective in the sense that like the timing of the documentary was just kind of perfect to be able to do that, or did he just kind of truck along?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he definitely made like cancer is such a hard thing to go through, and especially for the loved ones like around you, like
Yeah.
his family and friends. And I mean, he says it in the movie, like it made him just like appreciate life, just kind of look at life differently, and just appreciate everything, just like coming from that space. And I think that ultimately, like he was only given 6 years to live, and it's been 13 years, and now he's completely 100% cancer free, which is like
Wow.
amazing. Like it's the type of cancer he has, like it's incurable, and he's like has no sign of it. So it's like
Wow.
it's pretty unreal. So I think a lot of that is just his attitude and being positive, and just like focusing on, being grateful and appreciative, um, is a big part of that.
Yeah. Well, you've got a chance to screen around at some different places, which has been kind of exciting. Is there any kind of like postscript of things that have happened since the making of the film, in regards to with Jim, or other things with the film, or the kind of larger story?
Um, I mean, the cancer news is recent, within the last month, like him completely being free of that. So that's really amazing. Other than that, we've just been going around doing a lot of film festivals, and getting good feedback and good reactions, and just working on distribution, and then yeah, just a big public release of the film. So it's been exciting.
And was there like kind of an aesthetic approach that you wanted to take in the making of the film, whether it be in filming or editing, or in telling the story, like um, of like that you wanted to kind of embrace um, in the style of the film itself?
Yeah, I think well, his art, just showing how influential it was. And the tricky thing is like his art's two-dimensional, and it's on, so it's m- making it come to life was a challenge with all the animations. And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of time spent animating all his work, and he has, a whole life's worth of work.
Right.
So that was a big undertaking and challenge. And but I think, adding that element of like bringing all his art to life, and so you can kind of just get the emotion from the art, and feel the purpose of it. And I think that was kind of the main goal with the film. And then yeah, just I mean, yeah, I guess that was kind of the biggest challenge and the main thing there.
Yeah. Well, I always kind of remind our audiences is that we're lucky enough that filmmakers like you share their films early on with us. And so, our kind of responsibility as an audience is like for the films we like to kind of become a film's kind of grassroots street team of like, talking it up on social media or at like the barbecue on the weekend. So, what are good ways to kind of continue to follow the film and kind of give it a shout out so we can kind of help spread the word?
Yeah, it's Instagram, at Art and Life Movie, and then the website, artandlifemovie.com. Those are good ways to kind of see what's going on, where it's showing next, and what's happening.
Very cool. Well, thanks for capturing Jim's story in such a cool and creative way, and just really excited to have you as part of DocFest.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, cool.